Mass index traders. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's all right. And happy every other Wednesday, traders. It is the mass index this week. Interesting one. I really like when we find these indicators that are from a time back when I was just slam testing everything I could find, but still never came across this one. It just goes to show how many of these things there are and how important it is to find ones that actually work really well. So let's see if this one does. Before we do that, if you're new, welcome. This is the #1 indicator channel in all of YouTube. Always was, always will be, but a lot of what we do is not going to make a lot of sense, so don't annoy us in the comments section. Instead, go here. I got it all there for you. NoNonsenseForex.com. Read the first page, watch that first video, get started, and catch up. You will not regret it. But for the rest of us, let's go ahead and take a look at the specs for the mass index. The year is going to be 2011, well beyond the 1996 and on threshold we like to see here on the channel. And right when I was starting to test indicators, really hot and heavy. The type is going to be a confirmation indicator. Subtype's going to be a midline cross, and I probably should put a bit of an asterisk there. I will explain why in just a moment. And as far as exit indicators go, I don't like zero line or midline crosses for that purpose, but you should be testing these anyway because it doesn't really take that long to do. Now, moving on, let's take a look at the mass index. This is what it looks like on the default settings. Now, we know with midline crosses that you wait till it crosses and closes above or below the line, and this would not be a very great indicator to use now, would it? You know, maybe back in the day I did take a look at this thing and said, this is stupid, and I moved on. Well, that would not have been a very smart thing to do. Because once Dan and the supercoders got a hold of it, it now looks like this, which is a much more viable option. Again, what you're going to do is wait for the red line to cross and close above the midline, and that will be your signal to go long. And then when it does the opposite, that's your signal to go short. Now, even on this setting, the signals don't look that good, but that's why we tweak them from here. And we will now go see what that looks like. Before we do that, however, understand that what you're about to see doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It only matters how this thing performs in your system. It's always a good idea to at least start with indicators that perform really well on the strategy tester, but there can be a lot of variation from there. So always go test these yourself. Now, if you're unsure how to do that, I'm not sure why if you've been here a while, but I still got you hooked up in the links down below. You're going to get a link to my automation blog that has an embedded video from Dan Stone showing you how to do this yourself on the MT4 strategy tester. As always, there will be a link to the blog that shows the tweak settings, and one thing that I need to point out, let's just go ahead and do that now. This midline cross, every once in a while, the midline is going to have to be adjusted. Now, the good news is not very often. And the other good news is the blog shows you how to do this and when to do this. And the other good news is it doesn't really affect our back testing a whole lot. But if you really want to do this optimally, there will have to be a little bit of movement every once in a while on this thing. But you will see when I show you the results, it can be worth doing. Moving on, Dan also has a YouTube channel that makes this indicator move in real time so it can show how it doesn't repaint. And he throws in a few other bits of information that I don't. And by the way, we do take user submissions on the indicator profile series every once in a while. There's a special email address for that. Again, the comment section is not the place for this. And let's not forget the single most popular place on the information superhighway. It is the indicator library where you can download the mass index and every indicator we have done on the indicator profile series. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mass index starting at the EURUSD. It looks something like this, and everything is just looking better and better and better. Is it not? 11% ROI. I forgot to speak with Dan about this. I am pretty sure that is a typo. I don't think you're going to be able to get an 11% ROI with a win-loss ratio that low. But we are creeping back into the territory where you can get an 11% return on one indicator on a Forex pair that isn't even the best Forex pair by far. That is significant. Oh, and by the way, 4-hour traders, you guys are coming back with a fury. just not on gold. But daily traders, this is good, really good. And we've been seeing good results for the last few months on gold. It's really been kind of the anomaly in the bunch. The one thing is total trades. Once you start adding other pieces to your algorithm, those total trades can go down to 8, maybe 7, maybe 6. So you just have to decide if that is the trading environment you are looking for, because that is a much lower amount of trades than I'm used to seeing on the indicator profile series. Let's go ahead and move into the S&P. 4-hour traders, you're going to like this a lot better. All traders, you're going to like this a lot better. Again, low trades, but the ability to do in one indicator what the stock market normally does on average every year is quite good. And this is probably double the results we were seeing not even 2 months ago. So that just goes to show you that these indicators are already good, but markets are getting good too. And if you're not taking advantage, then that's on you. Rounding it off with Bitcoin, big results on the 4-hour as well. Again, the trade-off here, there are two trade-offs. One is you're going to have to move that midline every once in a while. The blog explains how and why. And the lower amount of trades, which can be great for some people if you're trading a lot of different things. Or if you're like me and you would just rather have less signals to deal with. Remember, it's the ROI we care about. And the ROI across all of these tables has been really, really good. You know what else is really, really good? This entire channel, you should like, subscribe, and hit the bell. We have so much going on. We have the Trading Psychology podcast every other Monday. We do this indicator thing every other Wednesday, and the 10-Minute Contrarian Investing podcast every Saturday. We got you covered from start to finish, traders. Whether it's trading or investing, money is money. Finance is finance. Get good at all of it so you can reach and remain in that top fraction of 1%. You can do it all right here. Now go get it.